In response to a third party's intervention, the seraph drops a wall between the enemy servants. That's it. This is my chance to rescue Ren. She's going to be grateful. No, we were too slow. That girl will self-destruct before Sarah forces a withdrawal. We won't make it. Even the protective wall between us and Ronnie can't contain the force of her blast. Saber, Ren, and myself will be evaporated instantly. Also, I was reading that narrow voice. That was clearly Hawkeye talking, but that works. Cockroach, survive! Suppose I don't have a choice. Looks like the only one who can do something about it. It happens in the blink of an eye. With a curse, Ren's servant dashes straight towards Ronnie. Like a blue comet, he zooms through the wall, even as the enemy servant's spear rakes across his right side. Lancer! Hey, little girl. Little girls like you shouldn't play with big girl toys. I've accepted my own fate, but I can't be at peace with it if you're threatening to those I want to protect. Through a storm of flashes in the overheated air, the lance continues, unrearing, running Ronnie through. The red lance's barbs scour the flesh from her ribs, and it pushes in and through. Caught in the lance, as if it falls to the ground, her heart and lung system constructed of opal. That sounds, well, like she's dead. Time. Per regulation, a forced withdrawal will now be performed on Hakuno Kishina. Because we couldn't have her full name. I should put Kishi or something. Everything happens at once. The heart explodes behind me, creating a massive shockwave of data corruption. The world is crumbling, but I'm holding Ren's hand. Ronnie's large servant collapses around her, protecting its fallen master from the wave of data. And then... damn it, ow! The bastard took off my damn right side! I see your right side, though. Well, actually, I guess I don't see your right side, but I see you're holding a spear on your right side, I think, maybe? Cut cleanly down the right half of his body, the blue-clad servant sits alone before the wave of data. It is hopeless for him. He has no time to get help, and eventually, with that wound... Don't worry about me. This is a reality of a battlefield. We do not, or we do what we can, little lady. At least, I'm grateful my master was able to survive. Now, I just need to work on finding ways to defend people without getting myself killed. Yeah, you think? My lady master is going to be livid. It's your job to calm her down in my place, okay? That wisecracking smile suddenly disappears into light. I come into the multimedia ring. The command seal on my left hand is now smaller, but my exhausted servant and Ren are by my side. Where am I? Why? Those words are all she can manage. She blacks out. The intense battlefield followed by the rapid acceleration of teleportation must have completely drained her. The film's projector has gone still and the screen is dark. It all makes sense now why the bed was made you think of Dirty Thoughts Hawker now. I see. Ren was taken to the nurse's office after she collapsed. She's still asleep when I pay a visit. According to the doctor, she woke up earlier feeling okay. I'll wait around until she wakes up again. Come to think of it, I haven't heard a peep out of my servant in a while. They must be angry. Naturally, you fool. Why have you shown compassion to that woman? You turn my stomach. Be gone from my sight. Oh, she's mad. She's real mad. She's never been so openly hostile towards me before. She must be very angry about what I did. But, wait, I've heard her say that she admires kindness before. So why is she angry at me for showing compassion? Don't be ridiculous. I only enjoy the leniency is bestowed upon me, not when it's given to others. Ah, I see. She's just so imperious that I don't dare criticize her. Saber brews in an angry silence. Nearly half an hour later, Ren finally wakes up. What were you thinking? Ren goes from a comatose to bitch in 3 seconds flat. Well, that's a screenshot worthy thing. You're a participant in the Holy Grail War too. Why would you do something moronic like that to save me? And don't give me nonsense about being about to die. My victory was right around the corner, was it? Ronnie's self-destruction was bad news, but Lancer was capable of stopping her and her servant. Hey, let me see your commensal. Huh. So you did use one. I figured as much. Don't you regret using it, seeing as how you're handicapped for your future fights now? I already know she's prideful, and your servant warned me. Still, I didn't think she'd be so damn angry at me for helping. What are you staying quiet for? Do you regret what you've done? Or not? Nah, I've got no regret. I have no regret. You still don't get it, do you? This war is unforgiving. There's no cure for idiocy. I'd be an idiot to say thanks for an idiot like you, or to an idiot like you. She grumbles at irritation, thanking me in her own way. I think? Well, whatever. It still doesn't sit well with me, but you have my gratitude. Thanks. Alright, that's enough of that. On to the main issue. I left the arena before my win or loss was determined, so my command skills are still intact. By the same token, without a win, I've effectively dropped out of the tournament. Get it? I'm an anomaly to the system now, disconnected from the logic of the Holy Grail War. Rin displays her hand. The command seals are still there, but they have turned gray in color. Honestly, even if I'd won, I would have taken a significant damage and lost to one of the next fights. This way I still have a chance. I may no longer be able to attain the Grail, but I can defeat Leo. Although, I would have preferred to fight to the end with Lancer. No, I can't think like that. Anyway, what have you been... what you did may have been a stroke of genius. Oh, so now we're getting praised. Don't get me wrong. Oh, well, spoke too soon. No way am I praising you for being reckless. Either she's embarrassed or still kinda mad, because her expression morphs into a pout. It was worth saving her just to see this expression, but if I told her that, she'd probably yell at me again. Okay, on to the next issue. Was everything up until now not important to Miss Rin Tosaka? To be honest, I've had enough. What are you saying? I wanted to thank you, and I thanked you. I'd just like to discuss a crucial topic, if that's okay with you. How'd you disrupt our battle? The elimination battle's firewall should have been impervious even to a command seal. Trying to break through the firewall would have caused the system to fry your brain. The Seraph attack program. I remember having to deal with it at first, but it doesn't seem to affect me anymore. That can't be right. Also, sudden music just died. Hopefully it's not the recording itself. That can't be right. Even if your body is safe, your brain wouldn't have been able to handle the strain. Oh, speaking of which, aren't you... A look of shock washes over her face, leaving an expression of confusion in its wake. Never mind. I was just thinking out loud. Forget what I said. Anyway, don't you try any more idiotic moves, and Seraph won't allow you to get away with it twice. Her warning delivered, Rin begins to rise off the bed, then stops, as if something just occurred to her. Hey, does that mean Twice Peaceman ring... Or does the name Twice Peaceman ring a bell to you by chance? Twice? I can't recall hearing the name. I might have heard of the name before, but why bring him up now? No reason, really. You kind of remind me of him. Never mind, just forget I asked. After saying that, she drifts off into her own thoughts. Boy, what an event. What some events that have happened. Oh yes, we are saving our progress. Monstrosity. Power corrupts. And yet humans pray for the power. That inavailability leads them astray. Even in a world with no strife. Humans disrupt harmony for power. Why is that? Good question. Fourth week. The fourth selection. Combatants remaining. Shouldn't that be 15 now, technically, because Ren dropped out? Nah, I'm sure math adds up. Oh, our phones are going off. Sweet. The next combatants will be announced on the second floor bulletin board. It's the fourth such notice, and the bell that signals the seventh day countdown to my next battle sounds. It begins again. My hands are stained with the blood of 3 people, and I still remain. I've even taken the life of a child. Master or not, Alice was just a young girl. I wonder if I deserve to be alive, and what is my reason for continuing on? Shinji was determined to survive until the end, as he screamed in panic that he didn't want to die. Though Dan was true of heart, he died still believing that every battle had true meaning. And Alice, who was just lonely, a lost little child who only wanted someone to play with. The one who overcame them all and took their lives in the process was me, using my servant as a weapon. I wonder if my purpose is enough to compensate for taking their lives. My purpose to avoid death. As for what Dan said, that he wanted me to find some meaning in my battles, could I really find something like that inside myself when I don't even know who or what I am? Even if the memories that were erased before the prelims were to return, could I find it within me? To find meaning in any of my fights? Yay! Let's see how mad Saber is. She did not seem happy. Alright, well, leave. She's still sleeping, which makes sense. So, I was going to bring this up at the beginning of the video, but we just have been in cutscenes for 50 minutes. Hopefully, everyone that did roll for Semiramis got her. Valentine's Day should still be going on by this time the video comes out, I'm pretty sure. Oh, cutscene. Next to my name on a big white sheet of paper is my opponent's name, written large. Master, Lil Ronnie, the 4th Chimeric Lunar Sea. Lil Ronnie, huh? This is my next opponent? For a 4, I can further ponder the strange name. A nasty case of the chills running up my spine. Someone definitely has me in their sights, but I don't think they're meant to kill me at the moment. What in the world is this character? Curly red hair, clown makeup and costume, awkward, gangly figure. Why does this ring a bell? Yeah, it reminds me of a smiling mascot I saw in the newspaper ad for a hamburger joint. This clown isn't happy, not at all. Her beady eyes glisten dark and slimy like a snake's. Yeah, I like you. Super duper. Super duper. You look yummy. My opponent mutters to herself, swaying in and fro in a bizarre dance as she leaves. I didn't know this was a person in this universe. So that is the visage of a jester these days. Huh, amusing. Perhaps this jester will make our duel entertaining. Creepy. Very, very creepy. With the announcement of my opponent, the prep period begins, but I can't bring myself to care. What in the hell am I? Why am I here? How did I end up as a master in this Holy Grail War? These 3 questions race through my mind, making it impossible to concentrate on anything else. Do not dwell overlong on such thoughts, and remember, you've helped as well as harmed. If you're still doubting the rightness of your actions, why not visit the ones you've saved? As boring as it'll be. Listening to Saber talk reminds me of something. One I saved using my command seal. To disrupt your elimination battle should be in the nurse's office now. I wonder if she's alright. It might be a selfish thought on my own part, but I wonder if she's going to see her will change anything. I should probably go to the nurse's office later and visit her. We can do that. Anyone in here? Oh, no. I feel like this is new music. It is new music. Oh, you're up. You're awake. Oh, boy, speak. How did it come to this? An hour ago, Saber said, "Oh, I just remembered something, Praetor. Let me tell you a splendid story." And she's still going. And so, the former male lover of the boy's adored tutor turned out to be the boy's absent father. One day, in a play for the king, the boy fully expressed his anguish at growing up an orphan. His father acting within him, and at the boy's divine performance, the father's heart exploded. Yet, as the father was the genius who begot a genius, he swallowed the blood and continued singing. Thus, they sang in competition for 3 days, making the sky rumble with their might until they tired. What a spectacular pomp, enough so that I am willing to overlook the glaring plot holes. Saber is pretty passionate about this play. It must be her favorite. Oh boy. That was merely the prologue. More intrigue is yet to come. The playing of the talented young boy's harp reached Persia. The Persian king longed to make this boy his, though the king himself was so handsome I nearly fell for him. But the boy's female lover had lost her little brother's life to the Persian king. To avenge her brother, she dropped some poison into the king's food at the party. Saber's story doesn't stop at one twist or two. No, there are a couple dozen twists and over 100 characters bound by love and hate. I guess for there to be a couple dozen twists, all the characters have to be in an emotional orgy. The story is too long? There's no end in sight. Sheesh. Have you been paying attention? We have reached the climax already. You should know what happens next. The boy becomes the king of Persia, of course. There was no way I could have predicted that. The only plot arc that got resolved was this protagonist's, and he wasn't even all that happy at the end. If that's the end of the story, then those 100 side characters are doomed to a bad ending. No, a god shows up and gives everyone a happy ending, a deus ex machina. That's cheating, and I don't know what era Saber's from, but deus ex machina must be an old concept. More importantly, I know Saber pretty well from fighting alongside her for a while. From being a romantic and idealist, she doesn't like fantasy. Is she okay with a deus ex machina? It is a staple of theater, though I am not so fond of it. I prefer an ending where many plots are resolved, yes. And without a god's intervention, human animosity and love cannot easily be erased. The player must have reached the end of its hope, or rope. But most writers know the tangled web of human emotions cannot be undone by humans themselves. So, the Deus Ex Machina is an expression of hope. a last hope, to be sure, a mirage created by those on the verge of ruin, wishing for a savior.
例えばの話、あらゆる宗教を弾圧した王がいたとしたら、そやつは喜ぶであろうよ。
It's just the kind of God that a ruler who tried to eradicate religion would be like.
祈る神のいないそやつにとって、この機械仕掛けの神こそが、己が哀れな最後を見とってくれるのだろうからな。
The kind of God who only shows up when one is at their deathbed and has no other God to pray to. Saber finally stops speaking. She glances away sheepishly. That example at the end seemed too personal to be purely hypothetical. Save. And I think that at this point, that's a perfect spot to call it. Unfortunately, the nursery rhyme had to perish along with Alice, who hurts my soul. Obviously, we got the important conversation with Saber at the end. We saved Ren, which was the path I was going with anyways. But yeah, that's going to do it for this week. Hopefully, everybody enjoyed. I'll be back with the recording next week. And, you know, we'll do some more extra stuff. Walk around, talk to everyone, and kind of figure out what we need to do. Obviously, we'll have to talk to Ren at some point and get some food from BB. I mean, Sakura, whoever you want to call her. So, I appreciate everyone for watching, and I'm going to catch you guys next time.